What's happening with your hair?
I don't know. It was fine until you just did that to it.
Doing a lot of this. I can pretty much start doing that soon with my neck hair going on here.
That's a nice look.
I know. I'm gonna have to bust out the clippers and try to do my own fade. What do you think?
I'll do it.
No, I think I can do it.
Sweet baby. I think I can do it. Baby. Nobody should be trying to cut their own hair. Step away from the scissors. Hey. Do not cut your bangs. Do not try to shave your own head.
No. Listen. I think I can do it. My hair is so short. Who cares anyway? So whatever.
Eventually, we have to go out in public again. I care.
Yeah, I don't care. So I'm doing it myself. I'm gonna do mine, and then I'm gonna do Griz's. She needs to be shorn. I think I can do it. No, Sandra. No, it's way more fun if I try to do it myself. I think I want to see if I can do a fade.
Oh,
doing it to myself.
Please don't.
Why?
Because you're gonna have to wear a hat forever. Thank God we're not
forever. My hair grows so fast. Like it matters.
You're gonna wear the hat every day. I'm not gonna be seen with you.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna be seen with you. Anyway, guys, what's happening? It's Wednesday. It's Boss Up and List Day. For anybody who this is their first time coming to the show, I'm Katie. This is Vicky, aka Victoria, aka doubter of my haircutting abilities, aka naysayer, aka snuffer of my life.
Snuffer of your life, really?
My light in my life.
Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna.
AKA my fiance.
I don't know how long that's gonna last. Keep going with the Rona here, and somebody might be living in Barry's storage unit.
Oh, I see. What, you're gonna move there?
No.
By the way, speaking of Barry, 5-day flipper on here. Vintage Afro vintage. Why am I getting it wrong?
Why can't you talk today? Are you having a stroke? What are the signs? Do you smell toast?
Yeah. Anyway, he's saying thanks to us. $5 super chat. Thanks. He's had some people buy bulk from him, and he's saying thanks.
I heard a couple of our viewers had bought. They told us. So one of them told me anyway.
Yeah.
But yay! I'm glad.
Yay! Anyway, thanks, Barry. And thanks a lot for selling her big stuff that I have to help her ship. You jerk. You jerk. Anyway, yeah. So it's Wednesday. It's Boss Up and List Day. What is Boss Up and List Day?
Boss Up and List Day is the all-day virtual listing party that we host in the Boss Facebook group, which is the group that is linked down below. It is the best group on Facebook, if I do say so myself. We have a great group of people in there, started by T-Money, aka Teresa Cox, aka eBay employee practically, not really, but she would love to be. That's her dream job. So we all kind of work together and help elevate other sellers. We have sellers from brand new sellers that are afraid to start, to sellers that have been doing this for 20 plus years, and every step in between. One of the things we really love about our group is that we don't allow the crap that some groups do. And I'm not cutting on anybody, but some people just let anybody into a group and they can kind of run amok, and people get mean when they ask questions and they get condescending. And we've all been there in some type of group, right? There's a whole lot of keyboard warriors, and reselling groups are no different than any others, yeah. But ours is different. We like to keep it upbeat. We like to keep it positive. And we think that by helping people learn best practices and learn how to be the best sellers they can be, they elevate the whole community.
Yeah.
And that's kind of our goal.
Yeah, exactly. We want people to be respectful of each other, and we can have fun. We can be silly. Mm-hmm. We can also say naughty words in the group too, guys.
It's okay.
We get people reporting posts and comments because somebody says
somebody cussed,
and we're like, okay, come on, we get it. Some people are offended by inappropriate language.
Yeah.
But we don't really care about that. It's really just more about like that you are not treating other people not being a jerk. So it's kind of like our whole hashtag don't be a dick. It's like, come on guys, just be nice to each other. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, see, Laura Frenzika knows what's up. But
so every Wednesday, I should say, is our Boss Up and List Day, which is the all-day virtual listing party. Mm-hmm. And basically what that means is we have a little thread that we run every Wednesday, and kind of people check in with their goals for the day, their goals for the week, business goals, sometimes personal goals, whatever. It's a virtual water cooler. We kind of hold ourselves accountable and hold each other accountable with your virtual coworkers.
Yeah. Exactly. I need to start holding myself a little more accountable. It's like
you have zero motivation. You're like me, not zero.
Well, I just need to get back into the flow of things because for the first like few weeks of us being kind of on lockdown, because for us it's now been, the last time we went out socially was on the 12th of March, so we've really been
almost 6 weeks.
Yeah, and so for the first
tomorrow is 6 weeks,
few weeks, not knowing where we were going to get stuff, I was like seriously rationing my listings. So it's like I was doing like 5-6 listings a day, which is like nothing. And now it's like, okay, now I've got enough stuff. Now I see myself being able to get enough stuff. I can go back to normal levels of listing, like what I was doing before. But man, it's like I got to get back into that gear. I got to get back into it. So like today, I'm going to actually try to do some real listing. I'm going to say my goal for today is going to be 15 new listings on eBay.
That's my goal today, 15.
Yeah, and then
cross
posting them to Etsy and Grailed, because I really need to get my numbers back up. I've been selling really well, but I need to get
people
back
are
to
buying it. I mean, I think there was a lot of fear when all of this first happened and people started to get locked down, fear about money, fear in general, and people kind of like, we're not buying non-essentials right now, which I totally understand. But with the stimulus, we're the same way. With the stimulus packages that have been going out, whether you received it or not, whether you're qualified or not, we're not going to get into that. Everybody's business is different, but whatever that may be, the stimulus has created an economic stimulus. So people are buying. This is what happened. If anybody remembers when Obama gave out the $600 stimulus checks, I think it was back in 08 or 10. I'm not sure exactly what year it was. I know
there was one that went out like right at the end of Bush's administration.
But that one was the same way. I was on eBay then, and eBay sales were through the roof at that time, and it was a far smaller amount. So it works. That's the whole point of it. It's to keep people afloat, but it's also to help keep the economy afloat. So it's working. Sales have been very, very good for me this week. I'm at, what is it? It's 11 o'clock in the morning. I have $600 in sales today already.
Crazy. I do not. I still need to do my shipping. I pulled everything.
And I don't even have anything on sale right now.
But
people are buying full price. It's crazy. My sale ended this morning. I haven't had time to redo my sale, and just then things are flying.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about that.
Stuff going.
Wednesday is usually my slowest day of the week because my sale ends and restarts every Wednesday. So I think that kind of takes a chunk, for the algorithm to start moving again. And I don't usually have a great day on Wednesdays, but today I'm like, okay.
I just need to get new stuff listed, and I need to get I have some pretty cool stuff that I've gotten through buying stuff on eBay and Mercari and stuff like that. But I really need to get a really good haul. So sometime in the next couple of days, I'm gonna head on over to meet up with Jesse at Yesterday's Fits and actually do like a pretty decent size buy. Because I need to get some really cool higher dollar amount items.
I need some hard goods, Barry. Barry, come through with some hard goods again, my friend. I have clothes. I have a clothing hookup. I have 200 items right now that are being listed that are clothing items. I have the hookup on another 125 bulk buy that I'll be purchasing probably next week. But I need some hard goods. My soul needs the hard goods. Right now, I have a plethora of Hawaiian shirts and Western shirts, because that happens to be the bulk that I purchased. And, while they're decent sellers, $30, $40 a piece for most of them, average sale price, probably $30 or so. I'm sick of damn Hawaiian shirts. That's not my joy is not in Hawaiian shirts. I need some joy in my life, Barry.
See, Deb says that, I'm assuming it's Deb, says, I had sales on 3 platforms yesterday. They are buying, and I haven't really been trying. It's not bragging. It's my genuine shop talking. And that's the thing. It's like, that's why I'm like, I need to start infusing more listings and stuff like that, because I've definitely dropped down a bit. But now I have enough stuff that I don't need to have that happen. I have 60 items that I photographed and measured and weighed and are ready to be listed over the next week. I have another stack of stuff downstairs, some really cool stuff, probably another 30, 40 items. And then I want to go and get some stuff from Jesse. So I think I should.
One of my favorite words, Kara, plethora, a veritable plethora.
Yeah. Well, when I was in when I was in junior year in my AP English class, we were reading was it the Iliad? Is that what you read in that year? Anyway,
I have read it. Yes.
Okay, so I think it was the Iliad. And so my favorite phrase of that time was a plethora of noisome wounds.
Oh, I use veritable plethora a lot. I think I started saying those two words together somewhere in my junior high years. I don't know why, but because it sounded good, and I just like the way the words roll off my tongue.
Well, hopefully you're never in a real life situation where you have to talk about somebody's plethora of noisome wounds.
Yeah, that one's a hard one to throw into conversation. For sure.
If you're not like hanging out in the leper colony or something, you know.
Yeah. Noisome wounds. That's something.
Anyway, all right. So it's our Wednesday show, and this is our third week doing the masked seller. We're pretty excited about it. It's funny, we were having some issues. Our masked seller guest was having some issues getting their computer and like their video set up and stuff, and they finally got set up. And I'm like, oh, just message me. I was working on Vicky's printer, which was saying it was offline.
My printer decided to crap the bed today.
Usually there's a couple of things you can do. You can, reboot the computer and then it magically fixes itself, or you unplug the printer for a while and then it magically fixes itself, because it's always, that's pretty much all IT is turn it off and turn it back on again.
Of course.
And so
What else would it be?
So while our guest was getting their stuff set up and figured out, I went downstairs and I unplugged her printer because I asked her to do it, and she was like, I don't even know how.
I couldn't figure out where the plug was in the back. It was like, because it's shoved up against the wall. It's in a corner. I'm like, ugh.
So I'm like, fine. I'll come down. So I go down there, and it's like you do have to follow the cord behind her desk, and then there's the power strip. So I pull it up and I unplug it, and I'm waiting, because you want to give it like a good 10, 20 seconds. Plug it back in, and then I see that our guest has messaged me to say that they got it figured out. So I got to run back upstairs. So then I drop it back behind the desk, run back upstairs, and all of a sudden my internet's out. I'm like, what? So then I run back downstairs.
A lot of running.
I know, right? I was high knee in it too. Really like getting my
exercise today.
Yeah, getting my workouts worth, So I'm high knee it down the stairs. Have you ever tried high knee it downstairs?
No.
Okay, well, it's hard. So I'm high knee. I pull the thing back up, and I realized that somehow when I dropped the power strip behind the desk, both the router and the Wi-Fi, which are two separate things for us, had like popped off. So they both were unplugged. I'm like, what in the mother effing hell is going on here? So I plug those back in.
Do we need this play-by-play? We
really
needed the play-by-play.
I plug those back in. Because I want to, it's like, come on, guys. This is the lives we lead now. Plug it back in. High knee it back upstairs. Do some jumping jacks.
I think that was a bit excessive.
Jumping jacks and some burpees on the landing, because that's what you do.
Burpees. I'd like to see you try a burpee.
I'd probably die. Make it back upstairs. We get it all figured out. Printer still doesn't work, even though I've done all those things. And finally, I was able. It took a while, but I was able to get it figured out. But anyway, that's about it. Deep knee squats,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So I see we've got a decent crowd in here today. All the usuals and a few others. I think everybody's bored at home right now. Thank you for tuning in. I do see Candace Pitt in the chat there. I wanted to say hi, Candace. Good to see you in there. We've missed you. Haven't seen you in a bit. Hope you're doing well, hon. Yeah, so today I'm feeling goofy. I don't know if it's because my sales are good. I was really sad the other day, and you guys, sorry, I had my weepy moments. But we're onward and forward. We've decided, I'm just going to give everybody a little tip on my camp being canceled for the summer has really bummed me out.
Yeah.
But what we're doing is we're creating a virtual camp for the kids, and we have the best volunteers that run this camp. We're all volunteer. We just have an amazing group of people. And so we are all coming together and creating a virtual camp. We're mailing Camp in a Box to every single kid. And we're going to create an online community, and we're going to do online crafts every day for the whole camp week. So it may not be the same with us all being together, but we definitely are still creating a network and a way to connect with these kids. Yeah. And I'm super, super excited about that. So it's going to be a lot of work. It's like pivot, because we plan camp for an entire 8 months out of the year every year. And we've had it 90% planned for the summer. And now we have to change everything and figure out how to do that. So yeah, Candace, we're definitely sending them lots of candy, lots of treats, because we definitely sugar overload them anyway. We're sending them stuff to do, like crazy hat day, because, we're all going to have to be Zooming. So, you're like chest up. All kinds of fun stuff. So we're going to do the best we can. I get to read bedtime stories to the kids every week, which is what I do while we're at camp anyway. So that makes me happy because my kids are little. So we get to, I'm going to pre-record a bedtime story every night that they can watch at any time whenever their bedtime is, and sit there in my PJs and read a story. So I've got some stories.
You got some stories?
Yeah, I got some stories. I kept my kid's favorite, my child's favorite kid books. So I still have a bunch. If not, I can always hit up our friend Barbara, who loves to sell books, and she has like lots of kids books.
Yeah, for sure. And everybody's commenting on the energy of the show, and Jen says you're so perky today, Vicki.
Apparently I took my crack this morning. I'm good.
Pew, pew, pew. You know, we're down to like I think we're what 10 days away from the last time we went to grocery shopping.
We haven't shopped in 10 days. Yeah.
So it's
the candy. I have a lot of Easter candy. Yeah.
Because we need to talk about food like we always do.
Mm-hmm.
We're down. We did pretty well. I think we could probably go for a few more days, but we're getting to where there's some things that we really need to pick up. But tonight is going to be baked potato night. That's what I'm trying to decide if I want to do chili on my.
We do that at camp. That's actually one of the meals at camp that we do, like loaded baked potato night. So like a baked potato bar where you put all the different things on it.
We don't have any bacon left, but we have sour cream. We have green onions. We have butter, of course.
Cheese.
Cheese.
You need cheese.
I'm trying to decide if I want to do chili or not on mine as well. Maybe I'll do some chili and maybe have one be chili and one not. And we have salad. So I think that's what we're doing tonight.
We're doing baked potatoes and salads for dinner. Yeah. And very creative, I know. So Sherry, I have stepped away from the Cadbury eggs. I haven't even opened the big bag that Debbie sent to me, the 5-pound freaking bag of Cadbury mini eggs.
Candy.
Good Lord. I haven't even opened it. Actually, I've kind of given the Cadbury eggs and the chocolate a little bit of a break this past few days, only since like Saturday, but baby steps, right? It's been a few days.
Yeah, it's been, that's the thing. It's like, I got to go to the store probably in the next few days, but like, there's certain things I don't need to pick up, like no more candy. Cause I got candy sent to me by, Lorna.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal, dropped off a present for me that included candy.
Did Deb send you candy?
Deb did not send me candy. She sent me an awesome
My Little Pony.
An awesome little My Little Pony party thing that's really cute. It's in our
party in a box.
Yeah, it's in our windowsill on our windowsill right now downstairs. But so I have, and plus there's the candy, some of the candy left over from last time I went. So I'm like, I think we're good on the candy. I think we're okay with the candy.
We have like Halloween level candy in this house right now. It's crazy.
Oh, and it's a lot of the good stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Reese's eggs. Yum, 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 yum,
yep.
Pretty good.
Taco baked potatoes. That sounds good too.
Oh, yeah. You put a little salsa on there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. You guys are making me hungry.
Yeah. All right. We're going to go ahead and get into our masked seller part of the show. So we're going to bring the guest on here, and just as we've done over the last couple of weeks, some of you may know this person and might actually be able to guess who the actual seller is. Some of you may not know this person, but you can ask your questions. We're doing yes or no questions. You can ask your questions and try to guess where in the U.S. This is another U.S. seller. Where in the U.S. the seller is located, what state, even what town, what city. And then the other thing is this person is a full-time reseller now, but they were not always a full-time reseller.
Mm-hmm.
They were not always a seller. And so they had another career that they did for a long time. So the other thing you're going to want to guess is what their previous career was. So where they live, what their previous career was, and then of course, who they are.
Right.
Who are you? That's
your interpretation of the song.
Interpretation, whatever. So, right, guys, we're gonna need questions from you. And again, they're not gonna be speaking, so the only questions you can ask are yes or no questions, and we will see who they are. And once we figure out who they are, then we'll have them unmask themselves, and we'll just have a little conversation. All right.
Little more conversation.
I think those are the wrong words. Not your interpretation is incorrect and horrible. And horrible. You should be trying more high knees. Maybe I'll help.
I'll help open up the diaphragm.
All right, here we go. Here is welcome to the show, Masked Seller. I know you've got your little yes no sign or signs to help us out.
That's a very creative mask on the Masked Seller.
Allison Big Thrift would like to start it out, but she wants to know, Masked Seller, are you bigger than a bread box? I'm going to guess yes. All right, guys. So please just give us your questions. So Chris wants to know, do you live in the United States? And of course, that answer would be yes.
Not of course. We have lots of people that watch us that are not in the United States.
When I started, I said this person is in the United States.
Oh, okay.
So yes, of course. Okay. Victoria Smith says we live for this stuff. I mean, this is all we got right now, right, guys?
Seriously.
Okay, and Chris wants to know, do you live in the north? So in the northern part of the U.S. Do you live in the north? No. The answer to that is no. And all right. Lorna would like to know, do you live in the Pacific Northwest? Which I wouldn't necessarily, it's Northwest, but like, Oregon's not necessarily north. But the answer to that is no. No. Liz O'Kane wants to know, do you live in Pacific Standard Time? I like some of these questions where like what people are trying to find out. Like Key Lime Kisses says, do you wear a Hawaiian flower in your hair often? I wonder who Key Lime Kisses thinks it might be. And the answer to that is no. Nope. All right. Wicked Reseller. Sandra wants to know, do you live in a city? So I guess a city as opposed to like a small town. Do you live in a city? What we would consider a city? Answer to that is yes. Oh, okay. Okay.
Do a few more first.
Which one? Oh, okay. Susan wants to know, do you live in the desert? So would we consider where you live the desert? No. The answer to that is no. Kara wants to know, East Coast dweller? Do you live in the East Coast? The answer to that is no. Karen would like to know, do you have any children? Okay. No. Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have a YouTube channel? No.
I think that's a no. That's a limp no.
Oh, Debbie wants to know, do you get tornadoes? Do you get tornadoes? Yes. Oh.
Yes.
Yes to the tornadoes. All right. I'm going to ask.
I like Jim's question.
Okay. Jim wants to know, do you really have rainbow colored hair? No. The answer to that is no. All right. Bonnie wants to know, do you live in Texas? Do you live in Mo? I'll also ask that question. Do you live in Texas? Oh, answer is yes. Answer is yes. Okay, they live in Texas. All right, we can try to guess their city, and also remember we want to know what their career was before, what kind of career they had before. And Karen wants to know, do you sell on Posh? I don't think I know this answer.
I know the answer.
I'm sure you do. Yes.
I pay attention to my friends, okay?
Sorry. Okay, Deborah wants to know, do you like and sell books? I've seen a couple of these questions. We're getting very specific questions. Victoria Smith wants to know, do you have 2 cute grandsons? I don't know who she's thinking of. You know? Oh, somebody's phone's ringing. All right. Lisa wants to know, did you teach preschool? I think people are figuring it out. Did you teach preschool? Yes. So lives in Texas, teaches preschool. Sandra says that she thinks she knows, or she says she knows. Debbie wants to know, do you sell cookbooks? Is that your stomach? That was my stomach. Yes. Okay. And Bonnie wants to know, are your initials BC? And Deborah wants to know, do you live in Dallas? Does your phone have a guitar ringtone? All right. Debbie, our last masked singer, guest Barbara.
Masked singer?
Sorry, masked singer, masked seller. Barbara, hey!
Hello!
Hi, Barbara.
Hello, everybody. Or as I like to say, howdy, y'all.
Hi, y'all. Yeah, this is a chance for everybody. So Barbara's one of our admins, probably our most active admin.
Not probably, definitely.
Definitely our most active admin.
Barbara is the most active and does the most participation out of anybody in our group, not just admins. I think she does more work in that group than all of the admins combined,
including us,
including us and Teresa.
Because believe me, I'm the worst. You know, I do my daily posts and stuff like that most of the time. But
except when you forget because we're in the middle of the Rona.
Yeah, you know, you would think you would have more time to do things, and you do, but you also have more time to be, I guess, completely out of it
lazy
and not know what's going on. Anyway, hi Barbara, you're in Dallas, right?
Yes, I've been here all my life.
We absolutely love Barbara. Barbara is one of the most not just as an admin, she's super helpful to sellers as far as answering questions and helping to teach eBay's best practices. But she's also the one that you never, ever, 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 we talked on the phone a couple weeks ago for the first time. It was the first time I ever heard her voice. We talk all the time. I consider her a dear friend, and it's one of those definitely stranger friends. We've never met in person. And when we do have our conference, she's definitely coming. So you all get to meet Barbara in person, and I'm going to squeeze the stuffing out of her because I just can't wait to give her a hug.
I'll be hugging everybody.
But honestly,
virus or not, I'm a hugger. I'm going to hug you.
That's it.
Tell me not to.
We've been so excited. I was so excited to hear her voice. I got off the phone, Katie goes, she's got the sweetest little voice I know. It's so funny.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, so you were a preschool teacher for how many years?
27.
Wow.
I taught 3, 4, and 5-year-olds or ran a school for 27 years.
That's amazing. Do you miss being around that many little tinies?
I miss being around the kids. I don't miss being around the parents.
That's fair. That's what I like about camp. The parents drop the kids off and we have zero interaction with them for the entire week.
Yeah.
That's what I like, because my littles are 5 to 8. They're a little older than yours, the ones that I have at camp. And it's only for a week. But I like that we don't have the parents there 24/7, because if they had to interfere with every decision we made for the entire week, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
There are a few parents that I really got along with that I'm still friends with, but there were a lot of parents that I just did not like it when they walked in the door or came in the office. Hey, I need your help.
I bet. And so how long have you been reselling? What got you into it?
I started reselling in 2011 after Mark and I met. We were going to estate sales and garage sales just to find stuff for us that we needed for our place here. And one of the estate sale owners said, hey, I think you should sell on eBay. And so I started and got hooked. And at that point, I was still teaching, and I was burned out on teaching. And I started on eBay, and sales took off. And I went in and gave my 2-week notice, and I've been doing eBay ever since.
And here we are.
And so I saw.
Sorry.
I saw a couple of people that were trying to guess who you were. They were asking it if you like and you sell books and cookbooks, and so is that like your favorite thing to sell?
I like to sell books because they're easy for me to list, and because they ship a lot of them. I ship media mail, or most of them I ship media mail, so they're inexpensive to ship. And being a preschool teacher, I know all about children's books, so that's how I got started with selling the books. And the cookbooks just kind of came naturally. I had a friend give me a bunch of cookbooks, and that kind of took off. And
yeah. Well, and now that everybody's kind of staying home, and a lot of the thrift stores aren't open, and estate sales aren't happening, and I know that's kind of you do a lot of estate sales for a lot of your inventory, and so you kind of, I think it was for the first time you did some online bulk orders. You were a little nervous about it. Can you tell us a little about it? Because Debbie wants to know how you made out with your bulk buys.
Actually, I did really well. I ordered 5 cookbook lots off of eBay, and I got all of them in just a few days. The sellers were great. They shipped out fast. They were all packed well. Out of 28 cookbooks that I ended up with, there was only one that they didn't disclose that it had a lot of stains in it and the spine was broken on it. But I've already, I've got almost all of those listed now and a few watchers on a couple of them, and haven't sold one of them yet, but probably pretty soon. So
yeah,
Good.
I would think people would be like buying cookbooks right now. I mean, everybody's like cooking like crazy, and
Yeah, I mean, I think people are trying to cook different things, and of course, there's a
creative.
lot of recipes available online. But there's something to be said about an actual cookbook if you like to cook.
oh yeah,
Lots of people like cookbooks. I even have cookbooks I refer to, and I hate to cook, but I have, a handful of cookbooks that I've had for years, and I refer to them for specific recipes or ideas, even though I know if I Google the crap out of them, I'm sure I can find that recipe or some version of it somewhere. I like having them.
Well, with an actual cookbook, you don't have to scroll for 10 minutes through somebody's stupid blog just to get to the ingredients list.
That too, because that's super annoying. Or the pop-ups or everything else. It's right there in one page in front of you. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Kara wants to know, Barbara, how your sales are with libraries being closed right now.
They really haven't changed too much. I sell 2 to 3 books a day, and that's been pretty consistent even through the virus. I sold, talking about selling cookbooks I sold a cookbook, a Mexican cookbook I've had listed for a long time, to a chef in Tokyo.
That's really cool.
That's really cool.
I think that's pretty cool. Speaking of libraries, this doesn't have anything to do with reselling, but I wanted to say to people, I haven't been to the library here in Vegas yet, or the one here in Henderson. But because of the whole shutdown and everything, I decided to go see if I could get a library card online, and you totally can. Like, you have to go into a location to actually like get a physical card. But I was able to sign up for my library card online, and then it gave me access to being able to download books and stuff like that, which is pretty cool because you can borrow ebooks, like for Kindle and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Just a little tip for.
I actually sold a set of Reader's Digest books, the decorator shelf fillers that people buy as lots. I don't think people buy them necessarily to read them all. Although I'm sure those people exist, but I think a lot of people buy them to fill like library shelves or bookshelves as part of the decor. That's why I don't know if Alexis is in here, but Alexis sells lots of books based on color for that reason. But I sold a set of Reader's Digest books for $65 yesterday.
That's pretty cool.
They were free. I was pretty happy.
So let's see. One Witch Lady wants to know, what's the oldest cookbook you've ever sold?
Well, the oldest cookbook, I saw someone else ask the highest priced cookbook. They're actually both the same book.
Okay.
Last year, I sold a bartender's guide with recipes for cocktails in it. It was from 1918. And it sold for $180.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome.
That's really cool. I
remember that one.
Cocktails.
I know. What kind of cocktails? So that's like right before Prohibition. So it's like, what were people really drinking then? I wonder.
I don't know.
I think that would be cool about that is that would be for somebody that had like a Prohibition themed bar, and they would get that kind of book and recreate those old timey cocktails as specials. I think that would be pretty cool.
I saw something about how like they would sell like boxes or cases of dehydrated grapes, and then they'd have on the box, it would say, "Do not
Yeah,
add
I
water.
saw
Do
that.
not add water and put in the cupboard
For
because
9 days, because then you would have wine.
Because then it'll turn into wine or something, or then it'll ferment. So it was like telling you do not, and then it had the recipe for basically turning it into wine.
Yep.
Yeah. So Liz says what's awesome about the books Barbara sells is that they're hard to find or can't be found at the library.
Right. She's got the stuff that you can't find digital for sure.
Well, and that's the thing.
Or at the library.
There's so much stuff that's online, but there's some stuff that you're just never going to find.
There's so much stuff that's out of print that people will never take the time to create an online version.
Well, they wouldn't even know to, because like, you know, my mom has a few recipes. She wasn't the greatest cook, but there were a few things that she would bake that were really, really good. And she has a few recipes that like I still to this day have to sometimes call her back up and be like, hey, can you send me that again? Because
really, you haven't made it for me.
You shut your mouth. My favorite though is peach pancake. We always call it peach pancake. She literally has it handwritten in like one of her cookbooks. There's like some margins, and she hand wrote it. Peach pancake.
You still have never made that for me. I would eat that.
No, I need to make it.
I would eat the hell out of it.
Well, I found out like just within the last year, I found out that it was actually Dutch babies. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. But we called it peach pancake, and you cook it in the skillet. It's like a lot of eggs
and it rises.
It rises up on the side, and then we would take canned peaches and put that on there, and you eat it like a slice of pie with canned peaches and put cinnamon on top of it. And we called it peach pancake.
That sounds fantastic.
So that reminds me that I'm gonna call my mom and get the peach pancake recipe.
Can you make me some peach pancakes?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna need to get some peaches. Anyway, all right, guys. Feel free to ask any other questions.
Yeah, the best thing Allison says the best thing my mom makes is reservations. Listen, my mother too. I will tell you, I'm a good cook. I don't like to cook, but I am a good cook. I did not learn from my mother. I'll tell you that. Mm-hmm. My mother is the worst cook on the planet. She'll tell you that. I'm not dissing her. She's still alive. I'll tell it to her face. Worst cook, bar none. She can screw up boiling water.
Yeah, my mom could bake. She was a good baker. All right. So Kara wants to know, Barbara, what do encyclopedias still sell?
Yes and no. I don't like selling encyclopedia sets because they're so big and heavy. I did sell one once for a friend from the 1950s and got $75 for it. But what I do like to sell are the Childcraft set of books. They're children's encyclopedias from the 60s and 70s, and those sell really well. And there are a few Time Life series of books that still sell well too.
Okay.
But in general, I stay away from the normal, typical encyclopedia sets.
What about like Popular Mechanics, the old hardcover versions of those? Do they still sell? I know they used to years ago, but have you ever found those?
I've sold a few older. I would say about 90% of the books and magazines I sell are all vintage. And I've sold a few Popular Mechanics and Rifle magazines and some of the old, we sold a hunting magazine from the 60s a few weeks ago. So I think it depends on the...
So when you're looking at like the listings for like local estate sales around your area, and you see that they have books, what stands out to you in a listing that makes you like, I have to go to that because you think they have something good? Like, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for books that I've sold before. I'm looking for the Spiral cookbooks. If they have, I sell a lot of the community cookbooks, junior league cookbooks.
Yeah, the kind people make for their
a lot of cookbooks
and stuff. Yeah, we used to do that. Mm-hmm.
What's a Spiral cookbook? Huh?
What's a Spiral cookbook?
I think it means that they're privately printed, right?
Yeah.
It
they
looks
have
like
a spiral binding instead of the hardcover.
Okay.
Let's see. We got a bunch of questions in here. Oh, Lorna has a good question.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, so Lorna says, Barbara, that you like to sing, and she wants to know what your favorite song to sing is.
I have a few favorites. One of my, I used to sing in a band, a cover band.
Okay.
And we did pop songs and folk songs. And I think my go-to song is always James Taylor, "You've Got a Friend."
I love that song. It's a good song.
It's a good feel-good song.
So last week or the week before, the time is running together, Barbara was posting songs on her Facebook page. She was singing and posting songs. First of all, she has a beautiful voice. She sings in the choir and stuff. I know you sing in the choir with your church. And she has a beautiful singing voice, but you stopped. You only did like 2 or 3. I was like, keep going. I want to see more.
So Victoria
Smith, about it.
Victoria Smith wants to know where Mark is hiding right now.
Mark is back at work. Hallelujah.
I was going to say, how do you feel about that?
Thank goodness.
So we always talk about how, like, you know, for us, this is pretty close to what our normal life is anyway. Mm-hmm. And Barbara, you work from home as well, but Mark has like a day job. So having him at home, he's been driving you a little crazy because he's getting bored, right?
Yes.
And so now he's back at work and you've got your space back again.
Yeah.
Listen,
I was thankful for him being here and helping me with the eBay business. And he helped me with taking some pictures and doing some research. But it's nice to have him back at work and I can get back into my normal routine.
There you go. Lorna says, Pat goes back Friday. I feel you, girl.
It's true. Like we're used to having each other 24/7, but I have to tell you, we were joking about this, and I said, if I had been in this situation with my ex, I don't think we would both still be alive right now.
You'd be a widow?
I might be a widow.
A murdering widow. Kara wants to know if you found any author signed books in the wild.
Occasionally, I find some children's books that are signed. No one very famous. I did find there's a children's book illustrator, Bill Martin Jr. and Eric Carle, and another one is James Marshall. I found a book once autographed by Eric Carle.
Oh, I like him. He's got the Hungry Caterpillar.
Yes.
He's like has a lot of popular preschool books. I know who that one is. He's a popular one.
This was a Very Grouchy Ladybug signed by Eric. And it took the price from being like a $15 book to I think I got $50 or $60 for it. So
that's good.
Do you have any signed books in your collection?
I do. I have I have Tommy Land signed by Tommy Lee. I have Gene Simmons' book signed by Gene Simmons. All of these have been obtained in person. I have let's see. Those are the only 2 I think I have right now. I have some like lesser known rock signed books. I have a biography by not Jenny McCarthy. What's her name? Chelsea Handler signed, but that's not worth anything.
I have a copy. I have The Strain signed by Guillermo del Toro, who is one of my favorite directors and otherwise known as the Mexican Kevin Smith. But he's one of my favorite directors, and he's really, really sweet in person. And then I have a book signed by Bruce Campbell, who's one of my favorite actors. Lots of horror movies and like campy movies and stuff like that. But it was his book that he wrote, If Shins Could Kill. But
yeah, Laura Franzica's like, I have a signed Jay Leno on my shelf waiting for his funeral. Morbid but true. It is true. I mean, because as it is now, probably not worth much. The only one that I found in the wild was I had found, the biography that Bill Clinton wrote. I think it was My Life or something. I think it was a very simple title like that. I found Bill Clinton's book signed in the wild, and I did sell that. It was, and there were probably several that were signed. I mean, all authors tend to do book signings, but I ended up selling that for like $75. That was a long time ago, though.
Yeah. Somebody said, where did it go? Valerie says that she found a signed Julia Child cookbook.
Oh,
sold that for $150. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, when I was in like 3rd grade, I got to go to a special like writers workshop conference thing for kids. And it was really, really fun because I had written some essay, and so I got sent by my school. And it just like so happened that the author there was an author that came and was meeting with all the kids, and it just so happened to be like one of my favorite authors when I was little. And I had no idea until I got there. It was author Morley. I think it was, I can't remember his first name now because he wrote like Gentle Ben, lots of like stories about like
animals.
Nature and animals, and like there's like one that was one of my favorite books was this kid goes on a plane ride. It's like on a little prop plane, and it crashes into like this it crashes like in the wilderness, and he has to like survive. And I don't know, it was pretty exciting though. All right, what other questions you guys have? You got some more things you want to find out about Barbara? What you got? Oh, Debbie wants to know, Barbara, are you still sewing?
I wish. I can't get up the stairs to my studio right now.
Yeah.
It's up a steep flight of stairs, and I have a bum knee right now, so it's hard for me to get up and down the stairs.
Oh, that's too bad. You've been, but you quilt, right?
Yes.
You quilt.
I love to make quilts.
So other than books, you also have sold some fabric, and like recently you've been selling a bunch of fabric, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah. Mark brought down my tubs of fabric, and I've listed a bunch, and a few pieces have been flying out the door. As soon as I get them listed, they're gone.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing like home projects, but also sewing masks.
The mask making is I think what's having a lot of because even the stores that are open that happen to have, like, I don't think stores like Joann's Fabric and things like that are open. They were doing drive up pickup for a while, but I don't even know if they're still doing that. But like even stores that like Walmart, the certain Walmarts have big crafting sections and fabric sections. The fabric's wiped out. The thread is wiped out. Elastic, forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah, a friend of mine wanted to start making masks, and she asked me if I had some fabric I could sell her. And I said, no, if you're going to make masks, I'll just give you the fabric. So I gave her a box of some large pieces or large scraps that I had. Mm-hmm. She made 300 masks and gave them to a local nursing home.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome. So Crystal with Rosie's Closet has been making a lot of masks. She's one of the people that got on the Etsy train and has been selling masks and making them on Etsy like crazy. She's like, because there's so many people doing it. She had told me that she wasn't sure that she would sell that many because the market is flooded, obviously, with people that are doing it because everybody's home. And if you know how to use a sewing machine and you have access to fabric, then, go for it. But she said she's been selling, I think she sold hundreds of them so far. It's been crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I sold the only sewing machine that I had in my store.
And then she made me help her package it up and ship it, you jerk. Yeah. After we're done with the show, I have to go down and cut down a box for her to ship I don't know, what is it? Is it a
VCR?
A VCR. Ridiculous.
That I listed and sold yesterday within an hour.
Yeah, there's somebody in Casey's group who posted a picture of like all the stuff they're shipping out today, and it was literally like 40 different electronics.
That's all he sells, though.
I know, but I was like, I'm leaving you if you ever do that. So you're gonna start paying me. I don't mind one every few days, but don't start selling that many.
Yeah, I can't do it every day. I mean, I love the ROI on electronics, but I could not specialize in electronics. Too many issues.
Yeah. Crystal says I ordered fabric from Joann's, and 3 weeks later I still haven't gotten it. And
yeah,
so she's buying
that might not be a good one.
Now. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's
I don't know how to sew. I can barely sew a button on, honestly. I can sew a button on. It just doesn't look pretty when it's done. I mean, I've got.
How do you mess up sewing a button?
I've got a huge knot of thread, a huge knot of thread in the back when I'm trying to make
it. Literally has the holes there for you.
Listen, I said I can do it. It doesn't look pretty. It can be done.
I feel like buttons are like the paint by numbers of sewing. It's literally like, here's 4 holes, stick the needle through them.
Shut your
Go
mouth.
Around.
Shut up.
Oh,
there goes the ring light decided to dive off the back. Yeah, I have, let's see, there's some more questions in the chat or whatever. Chris said, I would sell big stuff too if I had someone else to package it. Yeah, she doesn't package it for me. I have help. I help.
Uh-huh.
I do.
Yeah.
And it's only on the big stuff that I can't create. Like, obviously, if I have a box available that fits it, I generally don't need help. Sometimes I need somebody to hold one end or help wrap when you need like an extra hand, because you need more than two hands to wrap certain things. But if a box has to be created, she is definitely the box creator.
Yeah, and usually I have to tell her, go away, leave the room and let me do this, because she can't do it and she wants to.
Did anybody ever ask somebody in their house to do the laundry and they did it so badly that you never asked them to do it again?
No, it's not that. It's when she has something she can't find the box for it, she'll have like a meltdown, and then you hear her throwing stuff around and stuff like that.
That too.
And then she'll stand next to me and be like, that's not gonna work. How's that gonna work? What's what? That's not gonna. And I'm finally like, get out now. Anyway, I need to start charging you. I should take off the rent.
Oh my goodness, is that Sally watching a YouTube show? What? Sally and Rudy, they're in Utah.
Yep.
Not too far away, but a little bit of a drive. We miss them. They come to our meetups a lot. But Sally hates YouTube and never watches it. So I'm very flattered that
she's desperate right now.
She's bored as shit right now.
All right, Lorna wants to know, Barbara, what are all the reselling sites you sell on, and which one's your favorite?
I sell on eBay, Etsy, and I just started back on Poshmark 2 weeks ago. I don't have very many listings on Posh yet. I did sell one item already on Posh.
Woohoo!
My favorite is eBay, although lately my Etsy store has taken off and I've been selling a lot. And a few nights I've sold more on Etsy than I did on eBay.
I know, it's weird, crazy when that happens, huh? Yeah, I mean, I definitely make more on eBay, but I will say Etsy's my favorite.
Yeah, eBay's still my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm still not a fan of Posh. I tried, guys, and I'm still going to continue to try. I've got too much invested in it at this point. But damn, 2 sales a week, it's not cutting it for me.
Yeah.
People don't like the prices on Etsy. I send out offers every day. I deep discount stuff. If I'm selling 2 things a week, that's a big deal. And I'm putting stuff up almost every day. I'm adding new inventory. So it's I don't know. And the whole ending things because they're stale, and then I've got to copy them somewhere else and then copy them back. Fuck that. That's not happening. That's too much work.
Appropriate. Sally says that she's been on the last 3 times and you just didn't notice.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry.
Sorry, emphasis was mine there. So Debbie wants to know, Barbara, how many listings do you have up, I guess, on your different platforms?
I was up to 900 on eBay, but with things selling and getting rid of a few things, I'm back to about 750. And I have a 300, close to 400 on Etsy.
Nice.
So I'm trying to build things back up again. My goal is to have over 1,000 by October 1st.
That's a good goal to be ready for Q4. Yeah. Macari, so Courtney, Bolo Buddy, says Macari's been crazy for me the last 2 weeks. I feel the same. Not crazy, but I'm definitely doing a few $100s a week on Macari for the last 3 weeks in a row, which before it was just as bad as Posh, like once in a blue moon. Yeah. So I am selling on Macari as well. I feel you. So, the VCR I sold yesterday I put it up on eBay, cross-posted it to Etsy and to Macari because it's an older model. And they're selling for about $45 or so on eBay. Not a big seller. They're not one of the good VCRs, but I have it up. I put it up for $79.95, knowing that it will go on sale at some point and knowing I can accept offers plus shipping. And I put it up for that same price on Macari. Buyer pays shipping on Macari, and it sold for the full $80.
Jeez.
So like an hour after I listed it. So it really is. It shows you that there are certain people that do not shop the same platforms. Yeah,
for sure. Flippin' Particles says, I tried Etsy with not enough patience. I only sold 2 things. Yeah, Etsy is a special kind of platform, I think. It definitely takes a lot longer to kind of get things moving on there. It's much slower than eBay. But I do feel like there's more consistency there, at least for me. I have, like 1,000 more listings on eBay, so my sales are still higher there. But Etsy, I feel like it's more consistent, and I get higher prices, and it's nicer. I don't know. But it definitely takes some time. Like, you really have to work it and kind of play around with it and play around with the ads and all that kind of stuff.
With all these Office Space conversations happening in the chat, I think I'm going to have to watch some Office Space while I'm working today. One of my favorite movies. I quote the shit out of that thing.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It's so dumb.
All right. Yeah, Bolo Buddy says, I need people to leave me feedback on Etsy.
Well, here's the thing. I've had over 400 sales on Etsy, and I have about 35 feedback. So
yeah, it definitely takes
way less than even on eBay.
Less feedback, but the feedback that people do give is usually a lot more personalized. Like on eBay, you're almost always getting they're just copying a feedback they gave the last seller. But Etsy, I tend to get nicer feedback. So Bolo Buddy,
I have about 800 sales on Etsy, and I think I only have about 150 feedback. So
that's actually better than mine or Katie's, I think.
I don't know how many feedback I have.
You have less than 100, and the only reason I know that is because you had it up on the screen when you were showing your solds the other day, and I noticed because I know how many sales you have versus the feedback number. It's like 10%, and at least on eBay I get about 30% lead feedback.
Grailed is pretty decent. I've had 47 sales on Grailed so far. And I'm at 19 feedback, so not too bad. Bolo Buddies wants to know a question about Etsy. Are there any penalties when you cancel an order?
No.
I think the only thing that they look at.
I think if you did it all the time and somebody decided to leave you a bad review, I'm sure you'd have issues. But there's no.
Yeah,
there's no policies about it.
Because the thing with Etsy is, for the most part, they're all about letting you control your own store. You decide what your return policies are. You deal with issues yourself. They don't really step in very often. And as far as I know, their main ways of kind of deciding what kind of a seller you are is they look at your feedback. I think that's what they recently had done this thing where it's like, if you get a certain amount of bad feedback, you kind of get put in,
you get in a timeout almost.
Not a timeout, but you get put on probation almost. I haven't had an issue with it yet. Some people were kind of freaking out about it.
I've had a couple bad feedbacks.
Yeah. But yeah, and it's like you get put in this probationary period, and then over a certain amount of time, you have to like build yourself back up, and then you get taken off of that. But
I think it's 90 days. I think it's a 90-day thing because I was in there because of two bad feedbacks. Two was enough to put me back there. It was like 1 or 2 stars. Anything under a 3-star was considered bad or something like that. But I've had to cancel quite a few orders on Etsy because I forgot to end them on somewhere else. Not as much now, but earlier when I wasn't checking every single day. I had some issues, so it happened.
I had to cancel one last night. I sold a book. I sold a book on eBay and started packaging it up, and 10 minutes later I sold the same book on Etsy before I had a chance to take it off.
It happens.
It happens.
Was it the same buyer that time?
No.
That's strange because every time I've had that happen, when it happens within a short period of time, it's the same buyer that finds it through Google, and then they go and try and buy it on both platforms. And I have to be like, no, same store, same buyer. I only have one, dude. That's happened to me like 3 times.
I had it was like Super Bowl, it was like Super Bowl 29 or something like that t-shirt. And I got an offer on Grailed, and it was a binding offer. So I saw somebody saying, Kelly said, she had 1 sale on Grailed, lots of offers that never pay. So there's a couple of different ways people can offer. People can do just a regular offer, you accept it. And what I've found with Grailed is the majority of the time they do not pay when you accept an offer. It's not the same as eBay. It's not a binding offer. And so it doesn't really mean anything when they offer and you accept. But they also have an option for a binding offer, which means they've already entered their payment information. And it's kind of like Mercari.
All Mercari offers are binding offers.
Right. So they have that on Grailed, and sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. But anyway, I had a binding offer for like $30 on this Super Bowl t-shirt, and I hadn't even responded to it. It was too low anyway. And within a few hours, it sold on Etsy for like the full price on there, which was like $43.19 because it's on sale. But so yeah, it's just totally random. Could have sold on both platforms, kind of thing. So. Bolo Buddies wants to know if you canceled an order on Etsy, can they leave feedback? I don't think so. I've never had that happen.
I don't think they can.
It wasn't a completed purchase, so I don't think so. Anyway, all right. Looks like we're at noon right now, guys. Anyway,
let's get in a couple more questions for Barbara because we've been babbling a lot and she has not talked as much.
Anybody got any other questions? We'll get in a couple of questions. We're at noon right now.
There was a question further back where someone asked if she did merchant fulfilled on Amazon. Did we ask that question?
No. Do you?
No.
Do you sell on Amazon at all?
No.
And have you ever thought about it because you do books?
I thought about it and we looked into it, but for now, I think I'm just going to stick with the platforms I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
Might change my mind at some point, but.
Yeah, so one witch lady wants to know, how do you store your books?
Bookshelves.
There you go.
That works. I mean,
makes it easier to find them.
It's probably the easiest way to deal with it. I mean, I don't
know spines and everything.
I don't know if you ever have any issues with like humidity or anything like that. I mean, I know it gets humid in Texas probably, but
yeah, but she's air conditioned. I mean, God, she would melt if she didn't have air conditioning. Right? It's hot and ugh.
All right,
well,
Jen.
I have no living room. My living room is our eBay inventory, and I have 3 bookshelves with all the books. And actually right now we have a couple of tubs of books because we're out of room on the bookshelves.
Better get you some more bookshelves.
Need some more shelves. Do you have more walls?
More walls, yeah.
All right, last question. Jen wants to know, what was your favorite find ever?
Actually, our favorite find ever wasn't a book. One of the first things that we sold was a handheld Nintendo game. Had never been taken out of the box. It was, we found it in an estate sale for $4. It got into a bidding war and sold overseas for over $400.
Wow.
Woo!
That's crazy.
Now that's an ROI.
That's crazy. All right, I totally lied. I'm gonna do Kara. Kara has a good question. I think we'll make our last question. She wants to know, what do you do about musty smelling thrifted books?
I try not to pick up any if I can detect that there's a smell. I have come home with a few from estate sales that were dusty and smelly. And typically if I put them outside on the patio for a few days or even a week, that usually takes the smell.
Okay.
I have a really sensitive nose, so if I'm at a place and I can tell they smell, I don't even pick them up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mold is one of those things. It's real hard to get out of books, and you can tell I have a sensitive smell too. If you find a tub of books or something at a sale, you can almost always tell when they're musty. Is one thing. Old books have a smell to them. They just do. And that light musty smell is okay, but when it's like moldy musty smell,
yeah,
you can totally tell. And it's gross.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna wrap things up here. Thank you guys so much. I still have to ship my stuff out. You still have to ship yours, and I got to help you with that stinking VCR. Thanks a lot. So I got to get that done, eat some lunch, and then I'm going to tackle my 15 listings that are planned for today. And then apparently you too, because you want to copy me.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us for this week's.
I was so glad to have Barbara on. Yeah. Everybody gets to see her smiling face.
And
it's been fun.
Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. And we also already have our mass seller picked out for next week. And we're really excited because I think it's going to be hard for people to figure out who this person is, which makes it fun. So definitely tune in next week. Let us know if you're liking this version of our show. It's kind of fun. Makes for a kind of fun show.
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I get really bored with our Wednesday show a lot because unless we have something new to go over with as far as eBay topics, or we're doing a story view, I think it gets a little bit old sometimes. It does for me. I don't know about you guys, but it does for me. So I like mixing it up, and this is a nice little, we'll keep this series going for a little while. I think it's fun.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we will see you on Sunday for a Sunday live haul.
There probably won't be a haul. There might be for Katie. There
Might
won't
be for me.
me.
Last week I wrapped up the show and totally forgot to show my hauls.
She's like, I'm done. We're out.
I was like, I don't know. My brain doesn't work anymore, guys. I'm going crazy. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and thanks to Barbara. And we'll say goodbye with our new catchphrase, which is what?
Hashtag don't be a dick.
Yeah. All right. See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.